Hi all, good morning. My name's Deepa and I manage to handle Melbourne Mojo Eats. Some of you know me, some of you don't, but I'm here today to talk about the Are You OK Day, which is celebrated on 14th September this year, which is today. And this is our National Day of Action when we remind all Australians that every day is a day to ask, are you okay? This year, the message is, are you okay? I'm here to hear you. And to be honest, asking, are you okay, is just the first step. The moment you ask someone, are you okay, you got to be very, very ready to actually listen to them actively to ensure what comes next. So I am going to give you a very quick guide today, 4 steps on how you can get ready to ask someone that you care about if they're okay and have that meaningful conversation. So the first thing you got to do is you have to be ready in your own self, because if you're not in a good headspace yourselves, you're not going to be able to have that conversation with someone else. So before you are getting ready to ask that question, please make sure that you are in a good headspace and you are in a space where you are willingly, genuinely going to listen to someone's concerns when they talk to you. And make sure that you have set some really good time aside, at least up to an hour, because again, if you want to have a meaningful conversation with someone, that is probably the least amount of time you'd need to genuinely listen and show your concern. So the first step is to be ready, which we just talked about. The second step is to be prepared. Okay. But you got to remember that you won't have all the answers, and that's absolutely okay. Because it can be very difficult for people to talk about their personal struggles, and they might be emotional, embarrassed, or upset to really talk about what's concerning them. So, really, you got to pick your moment. Make sure that you have chosen somewhere private and relatively informal when you're going to ask them that question. Have a think of what is a good time to chat. Ideally, as I said, try and put aside at least an hour so you've got some really good time to have that meaningful chat. And if they can't talk when you first approach them, you should have a think of organizing another time for a chat as well. So, the 4 steps of having an are you okay conversation is literally ask the question, you got to listen, you got to encourage some action, and then you got to check in. So, how do you ask, are you okay? Be relaxed and help them open up by asking some questions like, hey, how are you going? Or what's been happening? Or something on the lines of, I've noticed lately that you're not quite yourselves. How are you traveling? So, something simple like that to really initiate that first piece of, are you okay? Also, make an observation, mention specific things like, hey, I've noticed that you seem really tired recently, or you seem less chatty than usual. How are you going? So, tell them that what are some of the things that you observed that's made you concerned about them. So that's the asking part. Now comes the most difficult part we need to practice is to listen. So, really, when they are talking to you, make sure that you take what they say seriously. Do not interrupt or rush the conversation. If they need time to think, try and sit patiently with silence. Um, Encourage them to expand on what's troubling them. And, there may be times where they might get angry or upset. You got to stay calm and don't take it personally. Okay. Let them know you're asking because you're concerned and you really genuinely care about them. So I feel like this is the most difficult part. Please listen. Please take what they say very seriously. And then the next step is to encourage action. Ask them, where do you think we can go from here? Or what would be a good first step that we can take? What do you need from me? How can I help? How can I support you? And then there could be other options for action that might include talking to a family, a trusted friend, their doctor, or any other appropriate health professional. So that's encouraging action. The next part is to check in. And this is after a few days when you've had all of these conversations. It's important to check in soon. So maybe in the next couple of days after your conversation to see how they're going. Ask them if they found a better way to manage the situation better. If they haven't done anything about it, please encourage them and remind them that you're always there for a chat if they need you. Understand that sometimes it can take a bit longer for someone to be ready to see a professional, and that's okay, completely okay as well. But what you can do is you can try to reinforce the benefits of seeking professional help and trying different avenues. You could ask something on the lines of, do you think it would be useful if we could look into what support or services that might be available that could help? So just to summarize, ask, are you okay? I'm here to hear. But really, just genuinely ask people if you're concerned about them. Look around you and ask them, are you okay? And today is a very good day to do so. But you don't need just today. You can do this anytime. That's the whole purpose of celebrating today, the Are You Okay Day. So ask them the question, listen, encourage action, and then check in with them. By taking the time to have a meaningful conversation and genuinely listening with an open mind, we can all help people around us, people who need us, and people in our world feel supported and connected. Today is Are You Okay Day. And as I mentioned, I am here to hear. So I'm asking everyone who's watching me, are you okay? And I also got to show you this really cute little are you okay Kit Kat. Have a break and ask, are you okay? Thank you for listening.